Welcome everyone in very first lecture of Unit 4, and Unit 4 is about push-down automata and properties of context-free language. As Unit 1 and 2 is all about regular languages, where FA is the acceptor for regular language and regular expression and regular grammar are generator for regular languages. Similarly, context-free grammar is generator for context-free language and push-down automata is acceptor for context-free languages. As Unit 1 and 2 are related, similarly Unit 3 and 4 are related. So before going to the details of push-down automata, I will like to cover the properties of context-free languages as they are much related to Unit 3. So first we are going to study closure properties of context-free languages. First, union, or it may be as context-free languages are closed under union. It means that if we have any two context-free languages, then the union of these two context-free languages are also context-free. It means that if we have a CFG for language L1 and if we have a CFG for language L2, then for L1 union L2 we must have a CFG. So L1 union L2 will be context-free language also. So let L1 is context-free language having context-free grammar, say G1, with start symbol, say S1. Similarly, L2 is also a context-free language having CFG G2 with start symbol, say S2. Then L1 union L2 is also context-free language having grammar having CFG, say G with start symbol S, where how can we design the context-free grammar for the union of two different languages? Suppose we have language L1 having CFG G1 with start symbol S1 and L2 having CFG with start symbol S2. Then for writing the context-free grammar for L1 union L2, we need to do only one thing, adding a start production as S1 union S2. We will get L1 from S1 and we will get L2 from S2. Then for any two context-free languages, we can design the context-free grammar for union of them. So CFLs are always closed under union. Second one is concatenation. And context-free languages are closed under concatenation. Similarly, let L1 is a context-free language having CFG say G1 and having start symbol say S1, and L2 is context-free language with grammar G2 and start symbol S2. Then L1 followed by L2 is also context-free language with CFG G and start symbol S, where how we write the context-free grammar for the concatenation. We will add a start symbol S as S1 followed by S2. S1 is for L1 and S2 is for L2. Then by using S tends to S1 S2, we will get the CFG for concatenation of two languages. So it is also closed under concatenation. Third one is closure. CFLs are closed under closure operation. As we know, closure means star closure repetition. Say L is a context-free language having CFG G1 and start symbol say S1. Then L star is also CFL. So we have a grammar for context-free grammar for language L, and it start with symbol S1, and we have to repeat it. Any number of time. So L star will be derived as its CFG will be written with start symbol S, and S will be used to repeat the language L1, and L1 is derived by S1, so S1 will be repeated any number of time. As we know that S tends to AS slash epsilon is used to repeat A. Similarly, S tends to S1 S1 S slash epsilon will be used to repeat S1 any number of time, and S1 is used to drive L, so S tends to S1 S slash epsilon will be used to drive L star, so it is also closed. Now move to the other properties. Say reverse. Context-free languages are closed under reversal. Suppose we have a language L, it is CFL having some CFG with productions as A tends to say beta. Then L reverse is also context-free language with CFG having productions as A tends to beta reverse. We can drive the grammar for the reversal by repeating the product right hand side of a production. Whatever is there in the right, if we reverse it, we will get the grammar for the reversal of that particular language. Example, suppose L is S tends to ASB slash AB, then L reverse is, it is ANBN and greater than equal to 1. So L star will be derived by using S tends to reverse of this B S A, reverse of this B A, and the language here will be BN AN and greater than equal to 1. So we can get the grammar for the reversal of a language in case of context free languages. So it is also closed. Now look at complement. And context free languages are not closed under complement. And what is mean by not closed? Not closed mean it may be context free, it may be not. It is not necessary that complement will be always context free. It may be not. Suppose we have example, say L is equal to AN BN and greater than equal to say 0. What will be the complement? Complement of L contain strings as AN BM and not equal to M, because here both are equal. In complement equal are not allowed, so it is context free language. In other example, so it is CFL here. In other example, let us take L is equal to AI BJ CK, I equal to J or J equal to K. Here in the complement of this language, you will get strings as AI BJ CK, it is I equal to J, I not equal to J or J not equal to K. Then in complement string will be as I equal to J equal to K, and it is just like AN BN CN. Here I not equal to K J, here I equal to J, and here J not equal to K means J is also equal to K. So in complement it is I equal to J and J equal to K, or is replaced by and, not is changed into equal to. So we will get AN BN CN, and we know that it is not context free language. It is not possible to design context free languages for such languages. We cannot design CFG for them. So it may be not. So in next lecture we will study the further properties related to closure properties of context free languages. Thanks for attending the lecture.